up a lazy river by that old mill run. That lazy, lazy river in the noonday sun. Linger in the shade of a kind old tree. Throw away your troubles, dream a dream with me. Up a lazy river where the robin's song awakes the morning. We're gonna roll along. Blue skies up above, everyone's in love. Up a lazy river, how happy we will be. Up a lazy river with me. Now sing it with me. Cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon with one you love, the sun above, waiting for the moon. The old accordion playing, or a calliope, a sentimental tune. Cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon. Oh my goodness, my friends, I'm so glad you're here. You know, I love the river, and I have been on so many rivers. I've been on the rivers of New Zealand, Australia, all the rivers of America, rivers, so many other, all over Europe, and I just love the river. And I know a lot of you do because we've talked about it. Well, you know, I've got another show for you, which will be about steamboating, yes. But that's a whole other show, folks. And we're gonna have a great time when I do that one because I got all my river friends out there, right? Okay, you know, the river can be just as calm as can be. It can have some slight rolling, and it can get tumultuous, folks, I'll tell you. I've been on all of those types of rivers, right? But anyway, you know, there's been some terrible floods on rivers all over the world. And here's a song from 1931. You keep going your way, I'll keep going my way. River, stay away from my door. I just got my cabin. You don't need my cabin. River, stay away from my door. Don't come up any higher. I'm so all alone. Leave my bed and my fire. That's all I own. I ain't breaking your heart. Don't start breaking my heart. River, stay away from my door. I was on the Delta Queen, and it was like 1998 when there was a terrible flood on the Ohio River. People lost their lives. So many homes were lost. It was taken to the river, right? Well, folks, I decided to write a song after I heard a reporter. I used to have one of those little Sony TVs. Remember those? I'd have it in my stateroom. And sometimes I could get reception all the time. But this one time I heard a reporter talking about the flood of the Ohio River, and that there was a lady in Florence, Kentucky, who lost her home to the waters, to the flood. And they asked her, would she rebuild? And she said, yes. She said, because the river has given her more than it's ever taken away. How about that, folks? Well, I wrote this song. And I know a lot of my river friends out there, all over. I got some around the world that I met on the boats. But I know you've heard me do this song, and I know you love it. And you know the part. You sing along with me, right? So here we go, folks. She winds between the highways. She winds between the hills. She carries her peaceful waters by the meadows and the mills. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. beautiful river. She's the Ohio. There are times when waters join her and a torrent flow appears, but we do not blame her. In her floods we see her tears. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Beautiful river. She's the Ohio. Steamboats float her waters. Barges push along her banks. The towns along her shoreline give her glory, give her thanks. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Beautiful river. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Dave Parra and Kathy Barton recorded that song on one of their CDs. There's so many songs that they've done about the rivers. We lost Kathy. She passed away last year. We miss her terribly. But I need to get some of the lyrics from these beautiful songs. They did a song called Living on the River. It's so many great songs. I want to do them in my Steamboat show. So I'll be working on that. All right, now here's a song. 1988, the Oak Ridge Boys did this song. It's going to take a lot of river to keep this broken heart afloat. Going to take a lot of river running all the livelong day. Going to take the Mississippi, Monongahela, and the Ohio. Going to take a lot of river, wash these blues away. And there's so many more verses to that, folks. Now, this one was done by Bessie Smith. Yep. And it goes back to 1927. Bing Crosby also did it. Muddy moonlight, that Dixie moonlight, Swanee shore. Yes, folks, this song is really called Muddy Water. Muddy water. And there's a lot of times you see a lot of mud in the Mississippi. Actually, the Missouri is actually called the Big Muddy, but sometimes they call the Mississippi the Big Muddy. Anyway, here we go. Dixie moonlight, Swanee shore, headed homebound just once more to my Mississippi Delta home. Southland has that grand garden spot. Although you believe it or not, I hear those breezes a-whispering, come on back to me. Muddy water round my door, muddy water, see it everywhere. Just God's own shelter down on the Delta. Muddy water in my shoes, reeling and rocking to them low down blues. They live in ease and comfort down there, I do declare. Been away a year today to wander and to roam. I don't care, it's muddy down there, but you see it's my home. Got my toes turned Dixie way, round the Delta let me lay. My heart cries out for home. that muddy water. You gotta do that the blues way. Well, I love to fish. Haven't fished for a long time, but I love to fish, folks. At one time, I had the record for the sunfish or redfish. I'm the sunfish. Anyway, the largest girth. I think it was like almost 14 inches. Anyway, I'm sure somebody's. That was a long time ago, so I'm sure somebody's beat that record. And that was in Indiana, folks, okay? Gone fishing, I ain't working anymore. Gone fishing, see that sign upon my door. There's a hole out in the sun where I left a row have done. Oh, it ain't no fun. I ain't got no ambition, gone fishing by a shady wavy pool. I'm wishing I could be that kind of fool. I'd say no more work for mine. On my door I'd hang a sign, gone fishing, instead of wishing. You get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line and I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line and I'll get a pole. We'll go down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Sit on the bank till my feet got cold, honey. Sit on the bank till my feet got cold, babe. Sit on the bank till my feet got cold. We'll go down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Crawdad hole. Have you ever had any crawdads? When I was working on the steamboats, I'd be down in New Orleans. There was a place at the airport there where I could get 5 pounds of crawfish, crawdads, on dry ice, and I would take it home. And Gary would pick me up, of course, at the airport. We'd go home, and right away we'd put that newspaper on our kitchen table, and we'd get those crawfish. Gary would boil them up and heat them up. Well, they're already cooked, but he would heat them, and then we would eat them. It's a lot of work for that little piece of meat, believe me. Anyway, I found this song. And it was done by a rock group called Styx. That's S-T-Y-X. And I happened to hear this song. I don't usually listen to those type of rock bands, but I happened to hear this song, and I thought, that's pretty good. Take me back to my boat on the river. I need to go down. I need to calm down. Take me back to my boat on the river, and I won't cry anymore. Time stands still as I gaze in her waters. She eases me down, touching me gently with the waters that flow past my boat on the river. I won't cry out anymore. Oh, the river is wide, the river it touches my life like the waves on the sand, and all roads lead to tranquility base, where the frown on my face disappears. Take me down to the boat on the river. I need to go down, won't you let me go down? Take me back to my boat on the river, I won't cry anymore. Yeah, 1979 Styx. Now here's the one that Tex Beneke, he was, after Glenn Miller passed away, he led the Glenn Miller Band, and they recorded this song. Can I canoe you up the river? Can I canoe you up the stream? Can I canoe you up the river like I did in last night's dream? We'll drift a moment in the moonlight. I'll fish for little things to say. And with the help of Mr. Moonlight, maybe you'll be seeing things my way. Can I canoe you up the river? Yep. Oh, Arthur Godfrey did that song too. Yeah, Arthur Godfrey. Okay, get your pencil and paper out. It's time for our piano medley. All right? Ready? Because I know that those of you that wait for this, so you're ready. All right, here we go. Well, you knew that song, right? Probably knew most of those songs. All right, here we go. Check them off. Number one was On the Banks of the Wabash, Far Away, from 1913. That's the official song of Indiana. It was written by Paul Dresser about his childhood in Indiana. Number two is the Mississippi Mud, 1927. That was made popular by the Rhythm Boys. Bing Crosby was one of the Rhythm Boys. Number three, Old Folks at Home. That was a minstrel song written by Stephen Foster in 1851. It's also called Way Down Upon the Swanee, right? In 1935, it became the official state song of Florida. Foster never came to Florida. Number 4, Moon River. Henry Mancini wrote the music. Johnny Mercer wrote the lyrics after he thought of the Moon River near Savannah, his hometown. The song was written for a 1961 movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's, and won the Oscar for the Best Original Song because Andy Williams' theme song. And it became Andy Williams' theme song and the name of his Branson Theater. I'm not sure if it's still Moon River Theater or not there. It's been a while since I've been there. Number 5, Beautiful Ohio. The lyrics were written in 1918, and the melody was partly based on Rimsky-Korsakov's Song of India and Stephen Foster's Beautiful Dreamer. In 1969, it became the state song of Ohio. Number 6, Moonlight on the River, Colorado. That's a traditional song that was popularized by Slim Whitman, who had made over 700 recordings. 7, Shenandoah. It's also known as Across the Wide Missouri. It's said that explorers had written this and sung this. The exact origin is unknown. It was recorded by the Kingston Trio, Tennessee Ernie Ford, and many others. Number 8, you know this one, Old Man River, written by Jerome Kerr in 1927 for the stage musical production Showboat. Paul Robeson sang it in the early films. It was William Warfield who sang it in the 1951 movie. Okay, so there you go. Let's see how many you got right. Swanee, how I love ya, my dear old Swanee. I'd give the world to be among the folks in DIX. I even know my mommy's waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. Folks up north will see me no more when I get to that Swanee shore. All right. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Other great rivers add power to you. Yakima, Snake, and Klickitat too. Sandy, Willamette, and Hood River too. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Sing it with me. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. In 1985, a musical came to Broadway called Big River. Roger Miller wrote the lyrics to this song, and it was in the show. Here it is. River in the rain. Sometimes at night you look like a long white train winding your way away somewhere. River, I love you, don't you care? If you're on the run, winding someplace, just trying to find the sun. Whether the sunshine, whether the rain, river, I love you just the same. That musical's about Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer. I hope you get to see it sometime, or get the CD, or whatever. Okay. Now, remember this one? All right. This was from 1912. And then it row, row, row. Right up the river he would row, row, row. A hug he'd give her, that he'd kiss her now and then. She would tell him when. He'd fool around and fool around. Then he'd kiss again, and then he'd row, row, row. A little further he would row, row, row. Then he'd drop off his oars, take a few more encores, and then he'd row, row, row. I I've been floating down that old Green River on the good ship Rock and Ride. But I floated too far, got stuck on a bar, out there alone wishing I was home. The ship got wrecked with the captain and crew, and there was only one thing left to do. I had to drink that whole Green River dry to get back home to you. The Green River, it's a tributary of the Colorado River. Now, this is a song I wrote. Gary was at home. I was sitting on the deck after I'd gotten off work about 1 in the morning. I had left the lounge and sitting on the deck, sitting in a rocking chair. And I looked down. It was right across, actually, from where my stateroom was. I looked down at the river, and I saw this beautiful, the moon, the way it was shining on it, the paddle wheel was splashing. Well, let me take you. Here's the song I wrote, folks. And, of course, I'm singing this to Gary. And thinking about all the other crew members, their loved ones back home. Miss you tonight on the river Mississippi. Miss you tonight looking up at the stars. Miss you tonight on the river Mississippi. Cruising up the river on the old Delta Queen. Moonlight dancing on the ruffles of the river. Paddle wheel splashing in the quiet of the night. I see your face before me. I know you're thinking of me. Cruising up the river on the old Delta Queen. From New Orleans to Memphis, Natchez to St. Louis, Hannibal and Burlington, La Crosse and Red Wing too. We're on the Mississippi, cruising to St. Paul. It may be cold in the winter, but so pretty in the fall. Wish you were here to see all the beauty. Wish you were here to share it with me. Soon we'll be cruising down the river again. I know you'll be waiting when the steamboat rounds the bend. I hope you like that song. By the M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I. Hop back, I'm Mississippi, I'm floating down to New Orleans, and it flows right by my Tennessee home, where history was made by Steamboat Bill, M-E-M-P-H-I-S. Memphis is the town I mean. Way down yonder where the days are golden, there's a river that just keeps rolling. What a wonderful thrill to be down in Memphis, Tennessee. Ha-ha. You know, in 1964, K-Star had a hit on that. I can't recall my mother. I don't remember Dad. Mr. and Mississippi was all I ever had. Oh, I was born to wander, and I was born to roam, and Mr. and Mississippi made me feel at home. 1951, Patty Page. Yeah. All right. Here we go. One more ride down the Mississippi, one more ride to Tennessee, one more ride on the Old Man River, that's all I want for me. One more ride on Old Man River, that's all I want for me. One more ride on a paddle steamer, one more ride before I'm old. One more ride down that Old Man River with my final goal. Well, I used to sail a boat called the Mary Jane. I would haul loads of grain. People down there used to call me sailor. That paddle steamer meant the world to me. One more ride down the Mississippi, one more ride to Tennessee, one more ride on the the old man river. That's all I want for me. The moon kissed the Mississippi last night. Did you see the moment you kissed me? The stars danced a little polka last night. Yes, it's true. And did you see them too? That song was done by Vivian Blaine, and it was in a movie with Laurel and Hardy. Anyway, here's a Charlie Pride tune. Roll out Mississippi, walking along, whistling a song, half for the fancy free. Big river boat passing us by. She's heading for New Orleans. There she goes, disappearing round the bend. Roll on, Mississippi, you make me feel like a child again. Oh, I wish I could do all the words of these songs. The words are so beautiful. Well, now I taught the weeping willow how to cry, showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky, and the tears that I cried are gonna flood you, big river. Think I'm gonna sit right down and die. Now won't you better down by Baton Rouge, River Green? Take that man on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go down, I've had enough. Dump my blues down in the Gulf. He loves you, big river, more than me. Now that's Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash song came out in the 50s. Well, folks, my goodness. I got to tell you that I must have had close to 100 songs that I went through to pick what to do for this, stay in the time limit, what to do for this show. And oh my goodness, have I got songs for another. So using that backdrop, we're going to be having more river shows. There's just so many great river songs. And so many of you love the river. You've been going, you've been telling me that you're, there's about 14, I believe, here in our village that in August are going on the Columbia River. And so many of you are telling me that you're going on the Mississippi. And I just know if you've never been on a river cruise in America, boy, you're missing something, folks. You're missing something. Yeah, seeing land on both sides. And even in Europe, folks, going on the Danube and going on those smaller rivers. And so, wow. If you've not done that, think about it. So many of you just go to the Caribbean and take a cruise on the Caribbean. Oh, my goodness, folks. The islands are lovely, but you're missing something if you haven't had a river cruise. So think about it, okay? Here we go. I want to do this song now. This is a song that Garth Brooks did, not too old, 1998, I think, or something, and he did this song. And, folks, it's called The River. A dream is like a river, ever changing as it flows. And a dreamer's just a vessel that must follow where it goes. Try to learn from what's behind you, and never knowing what's in store makes each day a constant battle just to stay between the shores. And I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry, like a bird upon the wind. These waters are my sky. I'll never reach my destination if I never try. So I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. Too many times we stand aside and let the waters slip away till we put off till tomorrow has now become today. So don't you sit upon the shoreline and say you're satisfied. Choose to chance the rapids and dare to dance the tide. And I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. Like a bird upon the wind, these waters are my sky. I'll never reach my destination if I never try. So I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. There's bound to be rough waters, and I know I'll take some falls. But with the good Lord as my captain, I can make it through them all. And I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. Like a bird upon the wind, these waters are my sky. I'll never reach my destination if I never try. So I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. Friends, thank you for being with me. I had a wonderful time singing these river songs for you. I met my little brother down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Met my little brother down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Bye-bye, folks. Maybe I'll see you on the river someday. Bye.